Okay, so now we're doing whole numbers. What are whole numbers? Well, before we start with whole, we have to start with the natural numbers, and that's what the numbers that appear in nature. That's how you can think of them. You walk outside, you see one tree, one dog, two cats, three pears, whatever it is. You don't walk out and see half a dog running around. It doesn't really happen in nature. If it did, it wouldn't be natural, which is why it's not a natural number. So, these are our natural numbers: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, we don't include 0 because honestly, you walk out, you don't say, wow, there's 0 trees. You don't notice it. In nature, there's 1 tree, 2 trees, 3 trees, 4 trees. This is my opinion, of course, but that is why they're natural numbers. We also call them counting numbers. And why do we call them counting numbers? Start counting for me. Because if you go out in nature, you would just count stuff. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 dogs, right? It's counting. And then you have whole numbers. And whole numbers, they include the whole. One way that we think about it, and the reason I do say whole numbers, I just got off on a sidetrack there. Whole numbers is because they're whole. You have 1 whole pear, 2 whole apples. There's no fractional parts or decimal parts to whole numbers. They represent an entire quantity, a whole number. So like if you said 2, you could represent it with 2 whole circles. This is the number 2. Right? And the way I've remembered them as difference between counting numbers and whole numbers is it's just basically this. If you had some little rock and you picked it up, it would leave a 0, a hole. This is one thought that people think that where 0 came from is if people were counting with stones. I think it was in India. That's where the number 0 came from. And someone lifted a stone and then bam, there's a hole. There's an empty 0, a hole right there. So that's the way I remember whole numbers, is that 0 has that hole. So it starts with a hole and then you just start counting. That's a whole number. Okay, and then we have place values. And what we have here, these are the ones. These are the tens. These are the hundreds. And each of those numbers represents the number of each that we have. So this means we have 700. That number really represents 700s. It's what it is. It's $700 bills, so you can think about it. And then we move on to the thousands categories. That's what these are. These are all thousands. And we have 1,000. We have 10,000. We have 100,000s. So that's what it is again. It's the ones, the tens, and the hundreds. RHTOs. Hundreds, tens, and ones. 110 ones, 110 ones. The comma represents our category. We are now in the millions. So this is 1 million. This is 10 million. And this is 100 million. And that 1 represents 100 millions. That's 2 10 millions. That's 3 1 millions. So if you see 123, it literally means you have 2 10 millions, 3 1 millions, and 1 100 million. Alright. And so the commas just tell us what we have. If we did another comma, we're at billions. Another comma, it's trillions, and then so on. Okay. So give the place value of the 3. And the 3 here, and the 3 here, and the 3 here, and the 3 here. That's what I'd like you to see. So look up there and tell me what value it is. Hit pause now and try it. And there you have it. Hundreds. I forgot an E. Squeeze it in there. The ones, the 100 billion, because it's ones, tens, hundreds. That's our spot. Ones, tens, hundreds. So it's 100, and we're in the billion area. And this is the ones. So 1 in the thousands, 1,000, 1,000. Oops. Put it up there, yeah. And then we're in the thousands, so 10,000s. Now you don't have to say 1,000, 1 million. You could just say the millions, and then the 10 millions, 100 millions. But I like to say the 1 just to calculate, just to remind us that it's the 1 millions place. Alright, so we're going to put these in expanded form. And that's just basically saying what they are. The 6 represents 100, so you want to write 600 plus 7. The 3 represents 3,000 plus 500 plus 2. Now I want you to write the last one in expanded form. So hit pause now and try it. Alright, and there's what you should have for expanded form. Now I know you can say, oh, you just put zeros wherever there's the numbers after that. So 9 you put some zeros, and the 7 you put zeros. That's great. But you really need to think about what the number actually represents. That's what we're looking for. That 5 represents 500,000. It helps us doing mental math when we're looking at stuff. So if you have to add two numbers, you know to look for the hundreds and the thousands and the 10,000s. Like stuff, it's very important. So make sure you say them. 500,000, 90,000, 7,000, 500, 6.